intro, welcome to the Tequila Princess channel. Today we're gonna be talking about a book. I want to share with you a book that I read a lot of years ago that helped me become a more confident, open-minded woman and change a lot of preconceptions, prejudges that I had. And this book here was really a life changer. I'm not into, self aid kind of books in general, but this is a beautiful book that it was it was just good for me. The name of the book is The Princess Who Believed in Fairy Tales. I know how it sounds, but it has nothing to do with fairy tales. The name of the author is Marcia Grad. I don't know if that name is supposed to be in Spanish or in English, so I will say it in Spanish. Marcia Grad. And the book tells the story of young Victoria, a princess that is meant to be, perfect in every way, and she has a lot of pressure from everybody, the queen, the king, the prince, and she struggles a lot to be perfect because she's not, because nobody is, right? She creates this kind of alter ego called Vicky. Her reckless, fun, vibrant personality. And Victoria needs to go back to Vicky sometimes to express herself. But everybody thinks that Vicky should not exist. So this book will tell you the journey for this princess to break away from what she's supposed to be, what people is expecting her to be, to what she really is. Realize how important is Vicky in herself, and how to make everybody understand that they should be who they are and nothing else. She embarks in a journey that is told as a fairy tale but has nothing to do with fairy tales. She will have to overcome a difficult marriage, a lot of pressure from her parents, the queen and king, especially from the queen, because, she's trying to teach her how to be this future queen that she's meant to be. But she's different and she struggles a lot to find that middle point in between what she is and what she is supposed to be. Especially because she feels at the beginning that she needs to lock Vicky away. She does it literally. And later on she realizes that that's not the solution. That's definitely not the way to do. And she goes in a very, very interesting self-growth journey that you might also find helpful. Obviously, not all the situations that you will read in this book might apply to your life. By the time that I read it, I was, I think, in high school, maybe starting university, something like that. So many of the things that I read here didn't quite apply to me. But still, it's very interesting. They had a very clear approach to many things, like not letting your partner hurt you. I remember a lot one of the phrases that kind of stuck to me forever, and it was like, it might seem love, it might sound like love, it might supposed to be love, but if it hurts, it's not love. That was like, wow, because I remember I was a hopeless romantic in that time, and I used to be always in love with the wrong person, and that was kind of the only kind of love that I knew. Being in love with someone that didn't know I existed and therefore was not reciprocating my feelings, and it hurt. It was really painful, and it kind of was the only thing that I knew, and somehow that kind of clicked, even if the phrase was meant in a different setup, but still was something that resonated a lot. And a lot of things about trying to help others or change others, or you changing for others, stuff like that, that we women particularly tend to do a lot. And in these days that feminism is a thing, I think it's okay, but we also have to remember not to go to extremes, not to be super pleasing to everybody, but also not to be this, horrible person, for not saying the B word, that doesn't care about anyone else, especially if they are not women. I think we should stop creating problems based in gender. I think I can also see how this book might help a lot of guys out there, not only women. It might also be the prince who believed in fairy tales and not only the princess. Just a little taste of what you might find inside. I will read you a little piece that I loved a lot and I keep remembering. It kind of is engraved in my mind always. And well, the book is in Spanish, so I had to make a little translation on my own. So if it doesn't match with the English version, please don't kill me. I'm doing my best. And well, because I am the tequila princess, I have my beautiful tequila collection here. Because remember that tequila is something that is meant for sipping. And I always think of a good tequila, like my personal favorite is always an extra añejo, but añejo and reposado are also very good for sipping. And I always like to pour myself a glass of tequila to enjoy with my reading. So feel free to do so. Without further ado, let me read you what I translated for you. It's not a whole chapter, it's just a little fragment that I really loved. So she arrives to this place where apparently everybody that is lost arrives to. And she enters to the office. There is a sign that says information. This is a little bit of what happens after she's deciding whether to stay in the camp or not for a little while. In that same instant, the princess heard clearly the croak of a frog coming from the other side of the door of the office. Moved by curiosity, she looked outside to know what was it all about. Little by little, a silhouette started to be visible in the fog. She could barely believe what she was seeing, although it was no longer so new to her. A man was skipping, just like a frog. "What the hell is he doing?" asked the princess, taking another step to be able to see him better. "Oh, he's a prince who believes to be a frog," said Willie very calmly while strolling by the entrance. "If you think that's strange, you should see the frog that goes around skipping with a crown and a royal cape and that believes it's a prince. I already told you that people around here is very confused. Even the flowers." "The flowers? How's that possible?" "Very simple. They feel guilty." "Why could they feel like that?" asked the princess with skepticism. "For needing sunlight, for taking up space, and for absorbing the nourishment that they need from the earth." "Why do they feel guilty for that?" "Because they think they don't deserve it." "Don't they know they are pretty and fragrant and that they give great pleasure? I will never forget the wonderful hours I spent in the roses' gardens." "The flowers don't realize their own value." "They're not the only ones," thought the princess while observing the people and what they were doing. "I like to stay to know what's wrong with them, but I must continue with my search of the truth. You will find a lot of that around here." "Here? But nobody even knows what they are." "That it is about, miss. One can find great deal of truth in what is not. Come on, I will show you around." The princess was not sure if she should stay, but then she remembered about Willie's friend who said, "One is always where it's supposed to be." Maybe, she thought, entering again to pick up her cashmere purse. "You will not see many people that is happy around here, although some might think sometimes that they are," said Willie while going down the stairs. Soon they saw a monkey on the edge of a pond. "Please, let me help you, or you will drown," said the monkey, leaning over, picking up a fish out of the water, carefully taking it to a tree. "What is it doing? It's going to kill it!" exclaimed the princess. "It thinks it's helping it," answered Willie. "Can't we do something?" "No need. The fishes around here already know what to do when the monkeys try to save them. Do you mean that this always happens? Yes, this and a lot more. If you think it is wrong that the monkeys try to help the fishes, you should see what happens when people try to save other people. I know, said the princess, remembering her attempt to help the prince, how he had told her that he didn't need help. Victoria and Willie saw that instantly the fish jumped from the branch in which the monkey left it, going back into the water with resolution and swam away. Now I understand what it means that the fish already know what to do. Okay, so that was the part that I wanted to share with you, and I loved it. I just loved it. It's so clear how sometimes we can see something as a problem, but it might not really be a problem because our perspective is not the only perspective. So what you see, the monkey, as someone else drowning, the fish, might not be a problem because guess what? Fishes live in the water, they breathe water. They do not need you to save them because they are not in trouble. And a lot of people like me, we have this tendency to help others. Whenever we think someone else is in trouble, we just want to help. We just want to be there and try to do something. Our way of seeing things is not the only way. So it might feel weird not doing something to help others, but unless they reach out and say, hey, I need your help, please help me. Sometimes the right thing to do is just watch. It's very important to, take a step back and see things as they are, not as you think they are. Try to think in a different perspective and especially try not to get involved in someone else's trouble. That might also be a very good advice. So with that said, I will take now my tequila, my beautiful tequila. I love the smell. You might think that I am a snob because I'm drinking my tequila from this beautiful glass. But, well, believe it or not, the shots that you see in every single bar is not the proper way of drinking tequila. At least not a good tequila like this one. This is a great and artisanal one, and I won't be doing the bottoms up kind of thing. That would be offensive for this kind of beautiful tequila. So I will just be sipping it. Thank you for watching this video. If you have read this book or if you end up reading it after this video, please leave me a comment. Let me know that you want me to do more things like this by giving it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and if you want to, please subscribe to my channel. That would mean a lot to me. So see you next time and cheers! Yeah, okay. It was good, good. It was good. Yeah, very good. Heard clearly the crack. I'm just bubbling.